All right, my French horn players, it's time for number 57, theme from Symphony Number 1 by Brahms. I will play it for you first, then we'll talk about it. 1, 2, 3. All right, and I'm noticing that we have a divisi part or a split part where we can choose upper or lower notes. So let me play that again for you, and this time where it goes low or high, I'll go to the low notes. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that's kind of cool and tricky there, doing those low notes. You got to really relax. Okay, so now, how to go about learning this one. All right, so first of all, if you haven't looked at line 56 or looked at the video for 56, which explains about the slur, be sure that you do, okay? That will really help you. All right, now, strategy with all this stuff is always to say it first, and also the other strategy is to do small bits of it. You don't want to do the whole thing all at once. So I'm going to do the first two measures plus that note that comes before it, which is actually another concept they're teaching us about here. If you look at the top of the page, that little note that's hanging out all by itself is called a pickup note, and it says a note that comes before the first full measure of a piece of music. All right, so what's happening here is they're starting with a note that's at the end of a partial measure. All right, now time signature tells you two things. First thing is the top number tells you what, guys? That's correct, 4 beats per measure. Bottom number tells you what kind of note gets the beat, and that is the quarter note. All right, so if a quarter note's worth 1 beat, but there's supposed to be 4 beats in the measure, that means that we're missing 3, right? And that's the last beat of the measure. So what beat number is it? 1, 2, 3, or 4? Not trying to trick you. And the correct answer is 4. And all that this means is that when we go to start the song, we're going to count ourselves in this way. 1, 2, 3. And we're going to play it on the 4th beat. So that note that we're playing is on the 4th beat, and it starts the song. All right, and then from there, everything else is straight ahead. Okay, getting back to this now, we're going to say the rhythm for those first two measures plus that pickup note. All right, so here goes. Say it along with me. 1, 2, 3. Ta, 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 ta. And I should mention, we're not slurring, we're just saying tas, right? Here's the foot cam view. 1, 2, 3. Ta, 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 ta. Okay. All right, now, make sure you can say that. Like, that's kind of the first step. If you can say it, then you're going to be able to play it eventually. Okay, you just have to make sure you can say it first with your tas, with your voice, and your foot. Okay? Now, the next step is to pick one note and play it on your French horn like you just said it. All right? So I'm going to pick an F. You could pick whatever note you want. All right? As long as you don't have to move your fingers or anything like that. So here goes. 1, 2, 3. All right, and you want to practice that so you can keep that steady beat with your foot. All right, and that's important. Let me give you the foot cam view of that also. All right, here we go. Foot cam time. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then, practice that. If you need to pause the video, pause it. Try to do it on one note. You could pick different notes, doesn't matter, as long as you're not moving your fingers. The idea is just to focus on making a sound on your instrument while tapping your foot. Now the next part is where you're going to actually play the written notes, okay? But you're still not going to slur. Now if you don't know your notes right off the bat and you need to figure them out, I want you to pause this video and then back up in your book and look up the notes that you need to look up, all right? And then come back. Okay, so here's what we got. For the first pickup note in the first two measures, we have F, B flat, A, B flat, G, F, B flat. Okay, and you want to do the fingers just like what I did. For instance, F, B flat, first valve. You want to do the fingerings for those notes and say the names of them. Okay, that's really important. So again, if you need to pause the video for a sec and practice that a little bit, just kind of get that under your fingers, right? All right, and then, okay, so then you're going to try to play it now. And again, we're not slurring. All right, I'm going to go for the upper note where it splits. So at that last note, I'm going to go for the upper B flat. Here goes. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so now that you want to practice that, right, until you can kind of get that to work. Key thing, make sure your foot's tapping so that you have that beat, right? Now what you're going to do, the final step, is to add in the slurs. Now don't let the slurs mess with the rhythm. Again, if you need a little assistance on figuring out slurs, I suggest you do line 56. All right, it's a really good one to do. All right, so here comes now. This is line 57, first two measures and the pickup note with the slurs. 1, 2, 3. All right. Now I'm going to let you figure out the rest on your own. Just go 2 measures at a time, figure out the notes, and go through that same process that we just did, where you say the notes first, then you play it on one note, then you play it with the written notes without slurs, and then finally you play it with the slurs. All right? Have fun. Practice hard.